My name is Joel Paulson, the Executive Director for the M Diversion Project.
There are several updates I'd like to share with you today, but I want to start off with a reminder of why this project is so important.
1997 was really an eye-opener for our region and the Red River Valley when it came to flooding. And then we saw the flood event of 2009, and it really turned our community into a war zone. We had Black Hawk helicopters, we had the National Guard, we had the Corps of Engineers. Fortunately, we were able to protect the community, but we all know that a greater flood event is possible. And that's really the reason that we're focused on permanent, reliable flood protection for our region. I'm excited to show you where we're at and where we're headed. The Flood Diversion Authority is made up of multiple different entities. City of Moorhead, the City of Fargo, the City of West Fargo, the counties of Clay and Cass, and the Cass County Joint Water Resource District. The Board of Authority provides the policy direction that we're moving forward to implement the project. Earlier this summer, we put together a virtual presentation for the Water Topics Overview Committee. This presentation can be found at fmdiversion.gov/tour. And it's a great resource to be able to see the wonderful work that's been accomplished to date, and also where we're at and where we're going with additional project components. Two of the largest construction projects that we have ongoing at the moment are the inlet control structure. And that project was started in 2017, and we're beginning to see the vertical construction and really the project start to take shape. The other project was the wild rice control structure. This was bid out in September of 2019, and construction began this spring. And you can see here there's a immense amount of excavation and work that has occurred. We're currently building this adjacent to the Wild Rice River, and at the completion of the project, the river will be rerouted through the control structure. The diversion project is considered a split delivery project. And what that means is that there's a federal component and then there's a non-federal component. The federal component is the southern embankment or the dam that holds back the water and stages it for the diversion channel. And all of the federal work is being done through federal grant dollars through the Army Corps of Engineers. The diversion channel is the non-federal portion. The public-private partnership is really a private entity who will be coming in with their own equity. They'll match up with our equity for the capital costs of construction. All of that is separate from the federal work that's being done. The M Diversion Project is the first in the nation that's being delivered in a split delivery P3 fashion. The public-private partnership provides us a number of benefits. One, we get cost and schedule certainty, and we'll be receiving those bids early in 2021. We also get a transfer of risk from the public side over to the private developer, who will assume the responsibility to design, build, operate, and maintain the diversion project for the next 30 years. The public-private partnership schedule is calling for bids in early 2021. We would assume to select the P3 developer by April, and really we'll be moving forward with quite a bit of activity and excavation with the project kicking off construction in the fall of 2021. Of course, funding is vital to the success of the project. We have multiple different funding entities involved in this project. The first part is the local cost share, which is estimated to be about $1 billion. That comes long-term through sales tax that was created by the City of Fargo and Cass County. That funding comes in on an annual basis and is used as a debt service instrument long-term. The next partner is the state of Minnesota, who we will be working with their legislature to try to get up to $86 million appropriated for project components on the Minnesota side. And then, of course, the state of North Dakota is another large funding partner of ours. We've requested $870 million from the state total. And we believe that is sufficient for the project needs. However, once we get the bids in next March, we'll know for certain what that final dollar amount is, and we'll work with the North Dakota legislature to finalize our funding needs for the project. And the third funding partner of ours is the federal government. And we have a project partnership agreement for $750 million. And those dollars escalate to year of expenditure. So we're estimating at the end of construction a total federal contribution of around $900 million. The Diversion Authority has a number of recent accomplishments that occurred in the last year. One, we have active construction underway on the southern embankment at the diversion inlet and control structure, as well as the Wild Rice River control structure. And we're moving forward with bidding out the I-29 grade raise project and the first component of the southern embankment, or the dam. I'm happy to report that most of that in-town work, both in Moorhead and in Fargo, is almost complete, which really reduces the number of sandbags we need to make if there were to be a springtime flood threat. We've also acquired 2/3 of the lands for the channel construction, and that provides us certainty in being able to deliver those properties over to the private developer for their use in the design and construction of the channel. We also are extremely excited for the procurement of the P3, which, as I mentioned before, is a first of its kind for Corps of Engineers project in the nation. And we expect to get those bids in March of next year. Really provides us the certainty in schedule and costs, as I mentioned before, that will really allow us to move forward, feeling confident that we'll get this constructed by 2028. We've also received EPA WIFIA terms, and the EPA WIFIA loan really is an important funding and financing mechanism for us. It allows us to access $560 million in federal subsidized low-interest loan dollars. That allows us to access the resources necessary to build the capital construction up front and pay that back long-term using our local option sales tax. We also had the mitigation plan approved by the Office of the State Engineer. This really implements a number of great programs that are necessary to offset some of the impacts of the project. We also received word from FEMA a couple months ago that our conditional letter of map revision was received and approved. And what that means is that we know the extent of what the future floodplain is going to look like after our project is implemented. And we can actively work to notify and work with the landowners in the impacted area through the mitigation plan. We've also received all state and federal permits necessary for construction, which has been a huge milestone for the project. And I think most of you have seen, recently we were able to come to a settlement agreement on all of the litigation outstanding associated with the diversion project. And that really provides a consensus and a unification in the Red River Valley for moving this project forward. All of these accomplishments make certain that we can move forward with construction on time and on budget. So with all of those successes behind us, we're really looking to move forward with the implementation of this project. And it has important ramifications for the state of North Dakota. For every 7 cents of state investment on this project, $1 in property value is protected. That's a great rate of return. 1 out of every 5 K-12 students attend school within the protected area. More than $20 billion in North Dakota property value is protected by this project. The protected area makes up 25% of North Dakota's GDP. So this project is extremely important for all of us to see the completion and see permanent, reliable flood protection implemented within the Red River Valley. As we move forward with these great successes, we really are looking into the future and getting this project built and implemented as quick as possible. We have a number of different areas that you can access additional information. You can go to fmdiversion.gov and you can sign up for our newsletter there. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We now have podcasts available as well that really dig into some very specific areas of the diversion project. And of course, I'm always available too. If you want to give me a call or send me an email if you have any questions. And I look forward to answering any questions that you may have at the moment.